Hello, everyone, and welcome to this meditation for dropping into the riverbed of peace. So, finding a comfortable seat and just allowing yourself to arrive, to settle in. Once you do find that place where you can begin to rest, you're welcome to either be seated or lying down, whatever is most comfortable for you. Just inviting your awareness a little bit more inside the body. Sometimes it helps to close the eyes. Sometimes it helps to have a little contact of hands on the head and face. The back of the head particularly can be a really lovely way to bring ourselves back and in. And just beginning to notice that you're breathing. Beginning to notice those sensations at your base, at your root, at your foundation. Noticing where your sit bones are, those bones at the bottom of your pelvis. Noticing your back field, that field at the back body, including the physical body and the energy body. Noticing if there is any desire for your body to let a breath out through the mouth, relieve a little bit of any tension that might be there. Noticing if you do let a breath out through the mouth, the sensations that follow on from this opening of the jaw, rippling down through the rest of your system. Noticing what sensations let you know that your body, that your being is breathing. And letting yourself come into the space of root, of belly, of womb, physical and energetic, of this cauldron of the lower part of the physical body. Inviting a softening into that container. Noticing if there's any unnecessary tension. Of course, tension is needed to keep us upright, to move through the world. But oftentimes we can come into a pattern of holding ourselves, holding our bodies in certain ways and places that is not actually needed for maintaining a certain gesture or a certain movement through space. So an invitation to allow, if such places come up to your awareness, if they light up, and if you have a little scan and feel in and see, actually, I can choose to relax. I can choose to let go into what is holding me already, just in certain places, maintaining whatever needs to be in place to keep you sitting upright if you're upright, to keep you in the position that you want to be in, genuinely, that your your body wants to rest in. Letting everything else melt into that support beneath you, that support of ground or whatever surface you happen to be on. And just allowing that support just for the duration of this little relaxation to represent Earth, even if you're not physically on the surface of natural ground. And that Earth connection happening through those places in the body that are in contact with it. Being breathed by the current of breath. And just like a mighty river, all the action, the movement, the to-do lists, the next right thing, the next 10 right things can be there. They can move and flow, but just for this time. We can be like that beautifully soft, smooth surfaced river stone that rests at the bed of a river. Having been smoothed, having been shaped in a way by the river itself, and yet not losing its essential nature. Resting deeply. Resting into that cauldron of your being. Resting into that bed of the river of life. Just being here. And of course, if a natural movement ripples through you, just allowing what is there. No need to limit or restrict yourself to a single position or gesture. Rather, allowing this stillness to be a dynamic conversation in relationship to the river, and in relationship and context to whatever else may be happening in your environment. And yet noticing that you can choose to return to the river stone, to being that river stone, to being the ground that holds the river stone. Not just the river stone, but the river itself. Noticing what is already happening inside your system without you having to do a single thing. Because in this state of listening, in this state of relative stillness, something else pulses through us. Not the doing mind that thinks it has to fix and achieve and complete what it sets out to do, but rather a natural force And of course, if you feel like you're drifting out of your body or moving into too deep or going somewhere that feels uncomfortable or spacey, you can always bring yourself back in through some physical touch with yourself, physical touch with the surface, the earth, ground on which you're sitting or lying. Connecting back to that felt sense in the body. No need for drama, no need for story. And if these things arise, that's absolutely fine as well. Right on time. Allowing them to move with the river. And everything else inevitably flows past. It arrives, might be with us for a little while, and then it leaves. And that's what happens again and again. And when we can be that river stone, when we can be that riverbed, we can choose to drop to that place where we can be unmoved by whatever happens. Our course, our presence, and our being is always there. Inviting that natural softening of the body, inviting that natural relaxation to happen as it happens. Your body already doing whatever it needs to do to come back into balance, to allow what needs to leave, to nourish and strengthen what is with you, what is you, and that which can never leave, that essence, that essential nature. And if it feels good and true for you, letting a hand come to rest over the sphere or the space of the heart. Another hand come to rest over the sphere or the space of belly. Allowing your touch to be exactly what you need today. Feeling into what feels good. Letting a breath come in through the nose. Expanding into that space of the heart, nourishing both belly and head space. Letting go out through the mouth. Noticing how the sphere of the heart extends both front and back, side and side, in all directions. And if it feels right and good for you, letting your hands come up to meet your head space, come over forehead, not necessarily making skin contact if that feels a bit like too much pressure, but just being present in that field of the headspace. Might feel good to let your hands move and see where they want to be, where your head naturally magnetizes your hands to come to rest for a few moments. Gathering your awareness up into the headspace, up into that creative inspiration zone where we have that transmitter-receiver intelligence that connects interplanetary awareness, interplanetary consciousness, that cosmic element, when disembodied, can wreak havoc sometimes. When we allow it to be a part, a natural part, to whatever extent, of our whole being, reconnecting back down this heaven sky energy, merging, informing, communicating in love with earth energy, with that core intelligence of this planet. We recognize ourselves to be an inseparable, not just part, but the whole itself. Not in an inflated way, but in simply the way we are. Resting in that. If it feels good to let your hands move over your body, bringing some contact, grounding. This almost power up of energy that may be surging right now. Letting it land in whatever way it needs to for your system. Recalibrating in coherence with your heart fields, with the earth's heart, with the universal heart, mind, being. It can be such a blessing to yourself to not have to think of yourself as something that needs fixing, something that is broken. Rather, arriving and approaching this whole business of stillness and silence and sitting or meditation or relaxation practice, whatever you want to call it, simply as something that helps us line up with what is already good in ourselves, with what is already healthy, what is already in this force of love and life flow, that which naturally emanates from our core of pure living light. I hope you enjoyed this little video. You can come back to it at any time, of course. Wishing you a wonderful rest of whatever needs to happen. Much love.